So what I want to do in this video is just share with you, I think, the sort of secret to hitting through the golf ball. And on a recent video I sort of talked about one of the reasons why amateur golfers can't hit through the golf ball. And what I emphasized in that video was just the sheer simplicity of how your lead foot has an effect on your lead leg. And if you're a little bit sort of too square with this foot, I think for most amateur golfers they struggle to pivot through that. They tend to get stuck and then therefore they don't swing through the ball. And what I also did in a recent video is I talked about a drill that I love to do, and it's a lead arm only drill. And with the lead arm only drill, I sort of suggest you to hold the club upside down and just to sort of make a few little liberated swings. And this is one of the things that I always get my online students to do. I always get them to record one of the drills, so this drill, and then send over a swing, and we sort of talk about the differences and do a comparison between the two. And it always comes down to this. So just to paint a picture, I have a student who, let's say, has reached out for help because they're too flicky, scoopy. So this basically means that instead of being hands forward, releasing the club, sort of getting stuck behind the ball, club head overtakes the hands, need help. Okay, so I might say to that student, look, go down the range, let's record yourself doing some of these drills. And they'll kind of go, okay, great, much better, complete transformation. Now, we need to get that golfer to do the drill as a replacement for their swing. How are we going to do it? Well, it comes down to a few elements, of course, but one of the things really is the sequence at the start of the downswing. So again, for an amateur golfer who gets too flicky, what we tend to see is that hands and arms work really wide away from the body, like so, and there's a real lack of rotation between the top of the backswing and the start of the downswing, this transition area. When they do the drill, completely different. They swing back and they turn. This gives them loads of space. So the thing that I want you to really put an emphasis on, and the thing that is going to give you this ability to hit through the ball. So through the ball again just means you can be here, liberated, as opposed to sort of here, is quite simply what your chest is doing. So if I do a couple of left arm only swings here, you can kind of really see that I would sort of sequence it. So I'm still, still making sure I get a nice rotation in the backswing. Yes, my left arm is more likely to go a little sort of floppy, shall we say, but that's okay with this type of exercise. But what we can see is that change of direction between the top of the backswing here and here. See how quickly I pull that left hip back and how quickly I allow my chest to rotate. And I'm introducing a lot of rotation between top of the backswing and this position here. And that gives me that capability to swoosh the club through. And the feeling you're kind of going to get is I'm turning my chest into my left arm, and that's then swooshing that club through. And you can see when I do this, my hands work, I'm going to say nice and tight, like so. So if I turn this club upside down, I do these movements again, turn my chest into my left arm, gets my hands in here, whip through the ball. If I do this, arms first, scoopy. So the secret to whipping the golf club through the ball really just stems from what you're doing to initiate your downswing. And what you really want to be focusing on is once you've done your backswing position, you then want to really feel like you are just rotating that chest towards the target, getting that feeling that it's your chest that moves into your left arm or towards your lead arm, and then that really propels that club through. And it's the same sort of analogy as to imagine throwing a frisbee but lead hand only, but the same feeling, you're turning the chest into the arm that propels it forward. And just as one little side note, if you're the kind of golfer that you've tried this and you're like, oh Russ, every time I try that type of feeling I just feel like I come over the top, that's the fault, it lies there in your backswing. Just to clarify, I get a lot of students that reach out having watched videos like this, and they tend to understand it, but every time they try it they swing over the top, and that's very much due to the fact that if I sort of swing back from here, yeah, this is not going to work. We get a nice full rotation in the backswing. We allow what's known as a bit of recentering, which means you watch my pelvis so it doesn't stay over here. See the way it moves progressively to my lead side. From here now, turn the chest, boom, through. Yeah, so back, then whip it through. Okay, not over here, and then whip it. So you've got to allow yourself to move to your lead side in the backswing, and then from there, then you'll get that feeling for whipping the club through. And once you can get it, and you can feel that sequence, then all of a sudden it's a feeling that you can take to the golf course, and it's a feeling that you can take to the practice area. So you might have to do a bit of jiggling around first. Again, a lot of students that I meet do a lot of clumsy, we have to do some clumsy isolated motions first, but once they get that, and they can consciously feel that, then you take those feelings into a fluid movement like the lead arm drill, which eventually gets transferred into the simplicity of target, turn, chest through arm, swing through. It does make the golf swing and playing golf more enjoyable and that little bit easier. I'll see you guys again really soon.